How's it going, everybody, and welcome to my new Let's Play of BOXBOY and BOXGIRL for the Nintendo Switch. Developed by HAL Laboratory, the creators of Kirby, BOXBOY is a series that first released on the Nintendo 3DS in 2015. But only 5 years later and 4 games into the series now, finally it's on an HD system and not on a tiny compressed handheld. BOXBOY became one of my favorite video game series of all time, one of them at least, when I first played through the original BOXBOY on the 3DS. And I gotta say, I've never fallen in love with a video game series as much as I have BOXBOY in such a short amount of time. Anyway, BOXBOY and BOXGIRL is the latest installment in the franchise, and it came out last year in 2019. I was very happy when it was announced, considering the title of the third game was Bye Bye BOXBOY, but it turns out that was more so saying bye-bye to the Nintendo 3DS, so we could finally get the BOXBOY series on the home console lineage. Anyway, without any further ado, trying to speak way too fast already in the first episode, let's hop in to one of 2 different stories that are available to us at the very start. There I go again, trying to speak way too fast. So we have A Tale for One, in which a brave youth stands against the dangers that threatens the world, and it's called the main story. However, you might have noticed, since the game is titled BOXBOY and BOXGIRL, this game is more tailored towards playing with 2 players because this is the first BOXBOY game in which you can play in co-op. A Tale for Two features an adventure for 2, or you could play as 1 player like I will be doing, to protect the planet, work together, or alone, to reach the goal. So yeah, Nintendo and HAL Laboratory marketed this game more so for its co-op feature, again, because it's named BOXBOY and BOXGIRL, instead of some weird title like BOXBOY or BOXBOY? I don't know. Anyway, so I will be showing off the multiple stories in this game, beginning of course with the staple of the BOXBOY series, the true single-player campaign, A Tale for One. Don't worry, A Tale for Two will be shown at a later point. For now, let's hop in to a brand new tale in the BOXBOY series. So, like any of the other BOXBOY games, the first little area as soon as you get past the title screen and file selection stuff is a bit of a tutorial in which you have QB, the protagonist, also known as BOXBOY, going through and just learning the ins and outs of how to basically do this game, where you learn how to create boxes, which will be your main tool to advance through all of the stages that we'll be seeing, and grabbing crowns to, I guess, get some bonuses. Anyway, like the previous BOXBOY games, target medals are back, although they're a little bit more expanded this time. Medals and target medals. The medals you get for clearing stages and the target medals you get for achieving targets can be exchanged for lots of different items, so get collecting. Really quick, before I hop into Stage 2 of the first world, also known as the beginning, I want to go over the targets a bit. So, in the previous BOXBOY titles, target medals basically allowed you to buy stuff at a shop, and it's the same for this time. However, it works a little bit differently. We'll get into that when we get to the shop, when we finally have access to it. But first I want to talk about the actual target system in each of these stages. So, on this world menu map, if I were to press Y, as you can see under the stage block itself, a menu pops up in which it shows what the targets are. So the crown target's been in every BOXBOY game basically, except of course, like I said, works a little bit different in this game. So if we clear a stage with all of the crowns, we get 4 target medals. And then there's the box targets. Now in previous BOXBOY games, if you overused boxes compared to the, I guess, limit they provided you, then you wouldn't be able to get the crown. This game, you can still get the crowns even if you use a bajillion boxes. You shouldn't be able to use a bajillion boxes, that'd be very impressive if you did, or rather sad, I guess I should say. But anyway, in the second stage, you can see that if we were to use 10 boxes or more, we would actually, if you use more than 10 boxes, I don't think you get one of the targets, but if you use up to 10 targets, you get a single medal. If you were to clear it with 7 or less, then you would get the 2 medals. And if you clear it with 4 boxes or less, you would get all 3 medals. And of course, for each one you clear, you get 2 of the target medals. It's a really nice system. I like how they expanded it in this game. And obviously, you'll see how it works more if I were to fail getting certain targets, which I very well might, because this game, I played through it, of course, when it first came out, because I'm a BOXBOY fanatic. However, I only recently practiced before this Let's Play, after playing it when it first came out, like a month ago at this point, or started to practice a month ago, after not playing it for about a year. So, if I don't do everything on the first try, don't mind me. But anyway, before I actually continue going through this second stage, I want to show off the pause menu. So it's a little bit different, of course, because it's only on a single screen this time, instead of being on a handheld where you have the top screen and the bottom screen, or the touch screen. So here on this menu, we have the option to retry. We can go to the title screen, or we could go to the controls. If I go to the controls, you can see that we have QB doing some animations based off the different controls we can do. We have move, which is with the control stick. Then we have jump with the B button. Creating boxes with Y and the circle pad. Throwing a box by pressing Y after creating one. Setting down a box by creating a box and then setting it down by pressing down on the circle pad. Then we have erase with the X button. You could see it in the top left corner of the screen outside of this menu, but still, I wanted to show this just to show you. Show this just to show you. Great use of words. And then there's 4 hidden options, which we'll get into at a later point. And then there's also guide on and guide off, which I think is the tutorial stuff we saw in the first stage. I'm gonna turn it off just to turn it off, but you know, if you want to keep it on, you can. And of course, you could press Y again to see the targets if you so desire, if you didn't do it outside of the menu. Anyway, now that we're here, let's go ahead and advance through the second stage. It's pretty much the same layouts in all of the BOXBOY games, these first worlds, where you just basically learn stuff. You have the little tutorial boxes showing QB in a, I guess, dream QB, doing all the different animations that they want you to do. But anyway, I only ended up using 3 boxes instead of the max 4, so I cleared the bonus targets with ease in this level. And I'll probably try to find ways to use shortcuts to use less than the first amount of boxes I could use. So, like, for example, I used 1 less box. Some of these levels I might end up using like 5 less boxes or even more. It really depends on how my brain configures the shortcuts. Anyway, let's take a quick peek at the target. So max 12, basically max 6 is what I'm going for, using no more than 6. Alright, let's go into stage 3 of World 1, although I do gotta mention, it's a little weird seeing these loading screens. It caught me off guard the first time I played through the game, and it's still a little weird to see considering I didn't see any on the handheld game, so it's like, my brain's not really used to seeing HD BOXBOY. Retry from checkpoint. Pressing L plus R backtracks a little bit and restarts from the last checkpoint. Use it when you're stuck, and they give you an example. If you were to jump into this little gap right here, you could use it there, but I don't really need to. All I need to do is just go here, and oh, I don't have that ability yet. That's right, I forgot. I was practicing with a fully completed file. So, now that I've gotten stuck, actually, this gives me a perfect excuse to use the last checkpoint thing. Haha, very nice. But yeah, we'll get into what I was trying to do a little later. Let's use 1 box there, and then jump after collecting our crown to exit stage door. I haven't used that phrase in so long. Anyway, there we go. We cleared with 4 boxes instead of 6. See? Already working to my advantage, shortcutting it from instead of 1 to 2 this time. Alright, let's move on to stage 4 in World 1. Oh, I didn't take a peek at the targets. I'm gonna forget to do that a lot, I bet. Alright, box limit 3. Let me check real quick. What do we got? 9 maximum for all the medals. Okay. Alright, so this time, we're gonna create even more boxes since we have now a limit of 3, and it gives us a basic staircase in order to, do that. However, we don't need to use all 3 here. We can do a bit of a shortcut to just make 2, having it on the lip there. And same thing here, really, just put that there and grab the crown and jump up and exit through the door. Yeah, you can really find a lot of ways to not use the maximum boxes, or the limit whatever, it's the maximum boxes, limit boxes, whatever, same thing. But you can find a lot of different ways in order to shortcut that process, if you will. Anyway, let's move on to stage 5. Let's see the limit 10. Okay, let's hop in, and now I have to keep that in mind to not use more than 10, and also I need to keep it in mind to check before I enter each stage. Okay, so here, I don't need to use 3, I can use 2. Actually, I probably could have gotten away with using 1, to be honest. Do that there, toss that there, use a shortcut there, perfect. And I should be able to just toss this here, allowing me to staircase up after grabbing the crown and completing the stage. Very nice. 3 less boxes than the maximum for all of the medals. I'll take it. And now we can move on to the final stage of World 1, Stage 6, and I forgot to press Y again. Off to such a great start. Alright, box limit of 4, but I want to see 13. Okay. It's a lot better if I don't screw up before going into each of these worlds. Alright, I can do that here. I can just do 2. Can I jump there? Yes, I can. Haha, I can do plenty of shortcuts. Speaking of, just use 2 there, and then just use 3 here, because I'm able to jump up and grab that crown, and then just jump across the gap and finish the world. Oh, rain those medals down on me, baby. Oh, all my terminology from the previous BOXBOY games are coming back. So I guess canonically there's like a dozen BOXBOYs and BOXGIRLs. No wonder why there's 4 games in this series now, considering how all the endings to these games work. Anyway, we now have access to the second world, but we also have access to playing as either BOXBOY or BOXGIRL, aka QC. Your choice. By pressing ZL or ZR on the world map, we can switch between BOXBOY and BOXGIRL. And that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing throughout this series, or at least this campaign. Every episode, I'm gonna switch between BOXBOY and BOXGIRL by pressing ZL and ZR. Before I go into the second world, though, I do want to show off the shop, because now we have access to it. Alright, so inside the shop we have a couple of different options, including the standard shop from the previous games, or the equivalent to standard shop from the previous titles. Except this time there's a new feature. assist items. If you're having trouble clearing a stage, these items will help. Press X during stage selection to use them. I personally will try not using these assist items. I might end up using them in the future. I'm not making any promises that I won't, but there are a couple options. Box Plus, which increases the number of boxes we use by 1. Speed Plus increases movement speed. Jump Plus, increasing jumping power. And Invincibility, which makes the user immune to damage. Now, these features were part of costumes that you could buy in previous titles, and I think these costumes all still exist technically in this game, but they just made them assist items for outside of those costumes, if that makes any sense. They each cost 2 medals. Again, I will try not to use them. I may in the future. I'm not making promises. We'll see. Anyway, we have music, in which we can use our medals to unlock our favorite tunes and then enjoy them at any time. Of course, we have only a limited number of selections because as our adventures unfold, we will come across treasure chests, as we saw in that little cutscene, with more items in the shop. The first option is the title theme, which I love the little music sheet thing with cubing on top of it. It's so good, I love that. It costs 30 medals. I will not be buying that yet. The equivalent of challenge mode in this game, the balloon challenge. Pop 10 balloons within the time limit in this minigame. You can pop them with boxes or with yourself. So, of course, this is equal to challenge mode stages from the previous titles, except they added balloons and color, or more color, because the balloons are pink. Anyway, these cost a lot of medals as well, and they also have target medals, which is pretty fun. I will be showing off challenge mode at a later time, but since I'm here, I might as well use the little medals I have to buy this very first stage. And no, I will not be playing it right now. I said later game. Jeez, don't embarrass me like that. Anyway, the next option is the comics. I love the comics in this game. I love them in the other titles as well. They cost a lot as well, being 30 medals each for these first couple. I will be unlocking them as time goes on, but for now, let's exit this shop menu, and let's go to this other shop area. Now, there's 2 different medal options. You might have noticed the difference between the medals we've been collecting after each stage. Some of them are used to, well, you can actually see it outside of here. If I go in between, you can see it's kind of a diamond shape for the traditional stuff you could buy in the shop. And then there's the target medals, which is basically kind of every single medal it seems like we've been collecting for, you know, the box target and the crown target. Anyway, so this is the dress-up box. Try your luck and draw dress-up accessories here. Then you can combine them to create the perfect costume. So they got rid of the option to buy costumes in the normal shop part of this game and replaced them with assist items, and then with target medals, you use them to basically get your costumes here. It's a little weird, but it works, just go with it. Anyway, to begin, you get 3 free draws for a special offer, so let's go ahead and use these free draws right now, and let's see what we get. Our first costume is the cape, faster than a speeding box. Alright, let's see what other accessories we can get. We can also skip these cutscenes by pressing A. The devil tail, a twisted pointy tail, and it also gives you the part that it, I guess, goes on, so it says body for devil tail. Pretty nifty to add that on. Alright, and our final accessory is going to be the pacifier. Take years off your age. Alright, and then of course you could use 30 of your target medals to draw extra accessories. Since I'm here, I might as well just use them. Why not? The doe eyes, you look familiar. Kind of seems like old school comic-y type. Anyway, let's use our final 30 medals and get another accessory. The top hat, rabbit not included. Alright, so there we go, and if we want to use any of our accessory costumes, we can come to this stand here, or press X on that previous menu to go to the changing room, and we can put on any of our items right here, and it actually does a draw of the curtain for the... I love it so much. Alright, doe eyes, let's add that. We can add the pacifier. We can just completely add everything to our costume. Yeah, look at that. We have a full-on costume here. Alright, so, oh, look at QB. QB looks great. Alright, let's exit the shop. Now that we're done spending pretty much all of our medals, we only have 6 more medals to our name right now. And if we were to come over here, we don't necessarily need to go to World 2 right now, and we can ignore that poor Q baby that's blackened into the ground. Again, HAL Laboratory really hates babies, and we can't go to that treasure chest yet. My mistake. Alright, so I guess it's on to World 2, but unfortunately that's going to have to wait until next time on BOXBOY and BOXGIRL. Next time we head into World 2, which is known as Switch It Up. Funnily enough, considering we're going to be switching to BOXGIRL, aka QC, for this world. Anyway, until then, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.